remember. My heart is cold like December. Open my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crush all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's in purple now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crush all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's in purple now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crush all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's in purple now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone, God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone, God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now, hope I don't crash all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone, God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone, God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone, God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone, God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now, hope I don't crash all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone, God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone, God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone, God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone, God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now, hope I don't crash all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Who broke my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Who broke my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all them out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Who broke my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Who broke my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all them out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Who broke my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Who broke my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash while I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I
Yo, what's good, everybody? We're back with another Music Monday on this Monday. Man, y'all smash the like button, sub up to the channel if you haven't done so already. And if you are new, of course, y'all know my name is Jeremy Jones, and I make content about sneakers normally and occasional try-on hauls. And y'all know this is Music Monday, something we bought at the top of the beginning of the year. So y'all smash that like button as y'all come in and out, man. Appreciate that. The love really goes a long way. Dunks, I'm assuming, is probably still grinding and working. I haven't heard from him all day, and he kind of been MIA in the Discord, so I'm assuming Dunks is at work. But he has a link, so he knows how to take the link and join the live whenever he's ready. So welcome to Music Monday, man. Y'all see the topics. Normally that would be the time where I introduce Dunks, but with that being said, man, we're going to keep the party started. Like I said, if he joins, he joins. We're talking Young Thug and the YSL RICO case. I want to talk about the open statements that begun already. And then pretty much I'm going to just give my little take on that. We've talked about this on and off a couple times with Young Thug going to trial along with the RICO case as far as YSL, which is what? Young Stoner Life or Young... I think that's the name of YSL. And then we're going to transition into... Diddy has apparently been under more charges, man, so it feels like Diddy right now cannot catch a single break. I mean, does he deserve one? That is debatable in your choice. Again, this whole live is opinionated based, and it is all alleged. We don't know anything. We're just reading what the information that's already out in the public for, and then we're going to go there, right? And then we're going to close things out with King Harris, T.I.'s son, right? Okay, apparently we saw him kind of getting into somewhat of a debacle at the Atlanta Hawks games and or Falcons, no, Atlanta Falcons games. So we're gonna see what that's all about. I'm not here to tell anybody how to raise or discipline their kids. Now, to the best of my knowledge, King is legally an adult, so I mean, technically they don't have to do anything. But I'm gonna dive in and see what that's all about because I saw that floating around over the weekend as well. Hopefully, you guys had a great weekend, very chill vibe. As y'all can see, I'm very, very relaxed right now. Been kind of grinding behind the scenes because just a little slight sneaker talk real quick is pretty much, man, December, it pretty much hits here Friday. And pretty much when I tell y'all the holiday season is on like Donkey Kong, I can guarantee you anybody who makes any form of content should just be thrown at them at this point, man. Let's see all we got in the building real quick, and then we're going to transition on to tonight's topic. Definitely got a couple articles. Like I said, I'm going to start off with the Young Thug and YSL RICO trial first, and then we're going to transition to what's up with Diddy at this point. I do feel like, I'm not saying there's any truth to that, but I do want to give my 2 cents on the whole situation as far as how I feel about it. Is it fair? Is what? This, that, and the third. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the legal system, dog. So, I mean, legal system and fair really don't go in the same sentence, but that's just me. But we'll see how it goes. Let's see what I got in the building. We got No Hype with the salute. What up? He says, yee. What up, No Hype? Appreciate that. Y'all smash that like button as y'all come in and out. We got Kwame in for a Music Monday. What up, Kwame? Yo, what's good? Appreciate that, Kwame, for coming through. Know you've been kind of on vacation. Hopefully you had a great one. Sorry for that little mishap in the sold out Discord. I forgot to say that at the beginning of the live. Sign up for that sold out Discord. The link is pinned at the top of the comment section. It is free to sign up, but we ain't with the BS. Moderators have already been on alert of kind of what happened today. Y'all know I'm on it, so we're going to try to make sure we keep it nice, clean, and friendly, and about sneakers and music and a little bit of sports. I mean, and something to eat and working out, you know? No Hype says, I'm donating plasma, but I'm watching. Okay, I respect it. Salutes, man. That's a big thing. Congratulations, man. That's what's up. I respect it. I respect it. So let's talk this Young Thug and YSL RICO trial opening statements beginning, right? And off the rip, as a good attorney or any good attorney wants to do if they can, which is extremely hard to do, and I guarantee you not cheap. Well, it could be on the cheaper side of things because they don't want to be there defending you no more than they have to. They know it's going to be a long, drawn-out trial. Thug's been locked down for quite some time. I'm not going to play any of the audio because I don't want to get things like kind of like discontinued, and YouTube sometimes be really picky on the content. Sometimes I get flagged just for the title. Divine Photos in the building says the whole T.I. and King drama is a mess all around. True. True, but at the same time, I'm gonna say this, right? I'm gonna touch on it a little bit later, but we have every I don't want to talk bad about anybody's kids because I don't know King, I don't know Ti, but every family has their situation where somebody is, not necessarily the quiet one, so to speak, are gonna give their parents a little bit more to work with, and I just feel like, as King is an older person, he reminds me of some of the family members that we deal with on a regular basis in my family, where I know for a fact my dad said he don't did everything he could possibly do XYZ. They don't know, but at the end of the day, that's your child, and you still love them, and you don't want to ever see anything bad ever happen to them. So at the same time, I get it. It's one of those double-edged swords, and to be honest, while whoever brought it to social media, which I think King went live with the whole situation, it's not for social media to make past judgment. Like I said, I'm gonna just read over that one. That's why that was kind of going last, man. And like I said, I think T.I. has 7 to 8 kids. Don't quote me. So I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. I've seen everybody's point of view from it, and I can see everybody's take on it per se. Yeah, just very interesting. But let's start off with this Young Thug situation. See what's going on with this. YSL RICO trial. So apparently the motion for mistrial has been denied. So whatever his lawyer tried to get thrown out, it ain't happening, bro. We going on. Like, so let me share my screen here. Boom. Hopefully everybody can see what's up. Now, this is kind of the latest of what I got today. It says Young Thug and YSL RICO trial opening statements began. Mistrial motion denied. Which at this point, I don't think anybody was surprised, but if all they got is lyrics against them, I feel like a strong creative expression should be able to get them. I don't know. I'm no bedman. And I really hate to say I'm not the person probably to really be speaking on legal stuff. Granted, I've been through a lot of legal stuff, but I lost them all. But let's just say this. Everything I lost to, I don't repeat it. So at the same time, I'm like, okay, cool. Don't do that again, or move this way, right? But it says, ahead of trial, a judge said lyrics could be used in the case. Now, right off rip, I don't think that's necessarily fair, but at the same time, I can see both sides of where they're saying this should be used fairly, or this should be used. Some people saying it shouldn't be used because, like, that's a form of his art. I get it. But at the same time, if the art is telling you a direct way of how we did XYZ to something that's illegal, then I can see where the legal system say, I'm like, okay, yeah, no. You know what I mean? But then I can double down and play devil's advocate and say, well, we can easily say that about some people who make movies and or scripts of like TV shows that are based loosely on the truth. Do the rappers have to say that on the album covers well, we don't even have that anymore. I'm telling my age. Do rappers need to start saying that on the beginning of every song, and or do they need to start putting this on, like, say, like I use Spotify? Do they need to start putting this all over the album cover now? On which we can thank Luke for us having that advisory sticker, right? He was the first person to kind of go to court and fight that whole situation and win. So, which I don't want to touch on with all that's going on behind the scenes on that, because yeah, if you haven't been living under the rock, man, to be honest, so much has happened in the last 2 months music wise. I honestly feel like I could probably go live every other day about a different topic alone, just to keep it 100. Kwame says, Doom warned us about self-snitch and RIP. This is true. Yeah, man. At the end of the day, I think Thug plays a great game on wordplay. And I feel like, to be honest, if they don't have anything directly, even though that stuff, it's still loosely, if you ask me, listen to the lyrics, because if you don't know, you know. You know, if you don't know what's going on, it literally just sounds like he's rhyming. Granted, it's like about some stuff, but you don't. He doesn't necessarily say directly or indirectly. He's very indirect with his lyrics. But I can only imagine with him being so indirect, while he has a fighting chance of beating the case, his lawyer is not happy in that courtroom, because that means it's got to go through a fine-tooth comb. But let me read through this article real quick, as y'all see that I got on the screen. Then we're going to transition on to Diddy, see what's popping up over there. Let me double check, make sure dunks ain't popped through. Cool, we good. Let's see. So it says, Young Thug's YSL RICO trial began on Monday in Georgia. So we're finally here. Think about it. He's been under bail with no release for a minute. You know what I'm saying? He ain't getting no bail. He ain't getting no bail. He ain't getting nothing. Let's see. Ryan says, what song lyrics again are being used against Thug? That's a whole case/trial has been messed up. Yeah, it's the one of those where literally I think it's one of those. The song is literally called "Take It to Trial." And he literally said he don't care, take it to trial, cussing him out, saying F the judge. Lyrics of that nature will be used against him. But I mean, like, still, you don't know which judge he's talking about. But I mean, it's still kind of one of those, like, the judge is not This is my thing. Even if they don't have nothing to make those lyrics stick to say that he did X, Y, Z, I don't know what Thugger did. But this is the thing. If they don't have those lyrics to point them from A, B, C, D, or if they got only A to D with no B and C, it's just gonna be another case of Melly situation where Melly's lyrics not even being getting used against them, but they are using them against them to help them. You know what I mean? So literally, like I said, the song is called "Take It to Trial," but there's other songs as well as involved. But I'll read through what you need to know as well because I do have that up. It says, as is typical of such proceedings, the first day of the trial did not start at the scheduled time. This was due to, at least in part, the absence of a juror who was later determined to have made a belated arrival after experiencing transportation issues. So that's another thing, too, why this trial has been so delayed for so long, is the fact that it took them forever to find a jury to actually want to go up against Thug, which could be a gift and a curse. Because, I mean, if they're all there and if Thug shows so much love in his area and he's been judged by of his peers, that could work in his favor too. It says, from there, opening statements kicked off with on the scene reporter Jewel Wicker noted that attorney Love, speaking for the prosecution, quoted, the Jungle Book alleged that Thugs YSL have been engaged in a war with the Inglewood family gang. Got Manny with the kicks in the building. Says, Yerp, what up, Manny? As y'all come in and out, y'all smash that like button, man. Smash it, really goes a long way. Sub up, of course, if you haven't done so already. So let me see what Jewel Whitaker said. Says, Love says Young Thug was originally member of the criminal street gang ROC, raised in Cleveland. Did not know that. Did not know that. We got the Slayer in the building. Says, yo, my peeps. What up, Slayer? What up, everybody? Y'all know I'm feeling great tonight. It says, Young Thug was originally raised on Cleveland, so that was like the Rock. I guess that's what it stood for, but they call Cleveland Bleveland, so that was definitely an ATL. So I guess it was like raised in Cleveland. Following an inter-riff in the group around 2012, she says YSL Young Slime Life is what it stands for, was formed with Thug as the leader. Do we really want to say that Thug really formed a whole gang, or is it really a record label? Because I've seen tons of people have come out and say that it's a record label. I'm not going to try to challenge this whole article, but low-key from looking, I'm no attorney, and I don't know the legal stuff, but I'm just saying stuff that should be mentioned to help Thug in his favor. If none of this is true, I don't know. Prosecutor Love says YSL was at war with the it says IF, but I'm guessing it's Inglewood family gang that led to a death of Devon Thomas in 2015. In the months following his death, she says no less than 50 shootings occurred. She alleged YSL stole at least 3 lives over the last 10 years. So apparently she's saying that the YSL, that's a group that Thug is the leader of, is pretty much caught over 3 bodies. I don't know if any of it's true. That's what she's alleging, and that's what it says. Let's see. Man with the Kick says 85, Divine, Kwame, Ryan, Slayer, salute. What up? You know what I'm saying? So, again, over the past 10 years, look like he's caught in 3 bodies. I mean, do we really want to believe this? Do they have the proof? Do we have DNA? That's my thing, too. I haven't heard a shred of ounce of DNA, but again, this is just opening statements. We'll see what brings out. What I do hope is not one of those drawn-out YNW Melly situations. I'm screaming right now, just going off what's out there. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up in a mistrial, because there's too many loose ends, in my opinion, or Thug's gonna get done dirty. The Slayer says the only Diddy I got love is for Diddy Kong. I feel you. We're going to touch on Diddy's situation next, man. Once I get through this Thugger situation, we're going to transition to Diddy's situation. At this point with Diddy's situation, though, just to give a brief hint on it, I do think that like if the stuff is true, cool, get what's coming to you. But at the same time, if it's not, man, it's completely unfair. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Manny with a kick says, "No more take that, take that Diddy." Oh Lord. Let's see. The prosecution opening remarks swiftly spurred a mistrial motion from Thug's attorney, Brian Steele, which apparently Thug has the best attorney money can buy, by the way. Just in case you guys don't know that. According to Steele, prosecutors engaged in an international misconduct on Monday, but not sharing all of the displays and opening statements as previously ordered by the judge. So he's trying to get it out on technicality. The judge is saying no, but I mean, it doesn't hurt to try. You know what I'm saying? 3 weeks ago, you ordered the parties to share all of their displays and opening statements to the others so we don't have to have these interruptions. I did that, Steele said. The state shared with me 4 attachments. They're all they have. That's what I got. Okay, continuing, Steele presented the court with a question. How do we just violate court order, he said. So yes, I have a serious motion for mistrial because it's intentional misconduct. That's professionalism right there already. Even though it got denied, according to the title of this article, right? Even though it's got denied, his attorney already trying to let you know, like, we trying to, hey, if you could, it's just like, I look at it like this, right? Let's look at it like this. It's equivalent to, say, like, the team scored, but they went out of bounds in the process. Cool, we gotta throw that out because it don't count. It's just like you caught the ball, he wide open, but he stepped out of bounds, but still ran it to the end zone. Right? Right or wrong? That's all. I'm gonna leave it at that. So let's read through what Jewel Whitaker put right here, and this is what we got going up on social media to the best of my knowledge. No Hype says, Manny, salute. That's what's up. Joel Whitaker says, adding some context here while we're out lunch break, Glanville seemed to most frustrated that the prosecution team didn't show the defense attorneys all of their slides before today. This is my thing. If he's annoyed with the prosecution, then yeah, I mean, to be honest, mistrial the joint. Says, had they done that, the defense attorneys could have pointed out anything that was wrong or supposed to be excluded ahead of the opening statements. We only got about 20 minutes into the prosecution's opening statements before breaking for lunch. And I'm assuming this is what the judge said, right? Okay, but it says Jewel Whitaker, so I'm assuming she's just a person who's reporting on that, right? The motion was ultimately denied as seen below. I'm not gonna play the video, but you can tell Thug's attorney is stressed the hell out, but he knows if he wins, I'm gonna put it this way. Whatever he charging, if he wins and Thugs get out, and you know Thug's stuff and the skyrocketed through the roof, and you know like whatever it is, let me put it this way. When Drake did that feature for his album he dropped while being locked up, he said you will be paid. That means he very confident he coming home. If you think he gonna pay Drake, what do you think he's willing to pay this guy? Like, I'm assuming it's nothing less than $1 million. I guarantee he said, yo, cool, $1 million. If we beat it, I'm going to give you 4. Like, I mean, this is a big case. You know what I'm saying? We beat it. He trying to get him all the way, you know. Salutes to Thugger, though, man, for having great representation, because sometimes you've seen it where some guys just don't have it. I want to say salutes to his attorney for sure. I've had 6 different attorneys on, I want to say it was 5 cases. I've had 5 cases, lost them all, 6 different attorneys. 2 of them I didn't have an attorney, and then everybody's like, yo, reason you losing, you don't have an attorney. Still had an attorney, still lost, but I will say that even if you lose, your attorney still try to cut you. Sometimes you got to know when to take the deal, and that don't mean snitching. That means like sometimes just pleading guilty for a lesser sentence. I think in Thug's case, I don't know if he was offered a plea deal, but I'm saying like if the number's like 40, then yeah, you might as well. I mean, you might as well go ahead and fight it on out. But yeah, I wasn't facing those type of numbers. FYI, I don't want to scare nobody. But Manny with the Kick says, free Young Thug, and we need new music ASAP. Oh, I'm telling, like, to be honest, I don't know about y'all, if y'all been glancing at the cases of him being shown in court. He's always gotten headphones on, which I guess has been approved. I'm curious if he's listening and sampling and getting music together and recording and getting stuff ready. So when in or if he gets free, it's gonna be the like most. We're gonna be like he's probably gonna do the best first day out ever. I can only imagine. Which I want to do touch on 42 Doug real quick or 42 Doug. He's out. Why hasn't he did a first day out? Just want to throw that out there. Anyway, Ryan says. Yeah, his attorney seems legit. Oh yeah, he's the best in attorney. He's the best in Atlanta from what I've seen all over the place. Let me read through the rest of this article. It says both Young Thug and Gunna were among those named in the indictment last year, alleging racketeering, influence, and corrupt organizations act, which stands for RICO. Just for the people who didn't know, violations. Thug was booked into Fulton County Jail in Georgia that May following a raid of his home in December. In December, Gunna's legal team announced that the client had been released from an Alford plea. So that means he pled guilty. But this is my thing. When you plead guilty, they shouldn't have put him in a sentence where he's saying YSL is this, YSL that. But this is my thing. Gunna's most likely not going to push it any further than that because he already know if Thug beats his case and Thug feels some type of way, Thug is somebody I feel like I wouldn't cross. Anybody who's ever beefed with Thug, it either end up squashed or, yeah. I'm going to just leave it at that. Again, this doesn't mean he did anything. I'm just saying he's not the guy you want to probably challenge. Let's see. Ryan says, thoughts on Gunna and this situation? As far as him taking a plea deal and everybody calling him a snitch and a rat because he basically admitted that YSL is this and YSL is that. I'm not going to put that out there, but yeah, he basically was doing whatever he got to do. But Gunna said he was tricked. And I get it. They will, to defend Gunna, right? I'm not saying what he did was right because he should have stayed locked down and held it down. But if you've been told by your boss, say, hey, take the deal, do what you got to do, we got this. We don't want no more pressure on you. Because who's to say Thug hasn't said anything from behind bars just yet. And to be fair, his attorney, number one thing you know if you got a good attorney, when they tell you, when they hire you, when they take your money and say, cool, I'm hired, the next thing they tell you is shut the F up and only talk to me. That's it. Don't do anything unless you run it by me. That's what your attorneys tell you to do. Any good one. They don't tell you, they don't want you talking anymore because the thing is simple, right? The saying is very simple. Anything you can say and do will be held against you in a court of law. That's what the cop's supposed to tell you. That's what they tell you. That's what your attorney is basically telling you without telling you. Shut up and talk to me. But back to the Gunna situation. Is it snitching on what he did? I feel like it's borderline. You know, granted, Gunna already know no matter what, he couldn't get, there's no way, with a good attorney, if Gunna has a good attorney, which apparently he has the second best, and then YF Lucci has the third best, or somewhere in that order, right? Even if he would have just stayed locked down and just said, I'm not saying anything, he know he wasn't going to get anything, he wasn't going to know nothing until Thug was done with his situation. And once Thug was being done with his situation, he would most likely just get the minimum whatever it is. He's gonna get the minimum of what because he just was in the car. That doesn't mean he did any of that. I don't think they have any of that tied to Gunna, but it just depends. I think with the Gunna situation, to answer your question, because I kind of went all over the place, Ryan, we need to hear from Thug, and we're not gonna hear from Thug until the case and situation is over. But as you can see, Gunna is still under YSL technically, so Thug still gotta eat, you know, or he would have flipped out. But Thug's, I like how he's handling it, being quiet, showing no emotion. He's not showing any signs of worry. Granted, he has looked like he's gained a little bit of weight in there, but at the same time, who's to say he's not being worked out? Who's to say they're not locking him down 24 hours? Granted, you're supposed to get at least an hour break out and whatever, do what you want to do. But who's to say how he's handling it, or recording music? So with the Gunna stuff, I'm going to say we need more information. I'm going to leave it at that. We need more information with the Gunna situation because, like, again, we don't know if he was told to do that. Look like Kevin Liles has still been showing up to his shows. And Kevin Liles, I also seen, was the first person showing up, or one of the first people to show up for the first day of trial for Thug. So some tells me something behind the scenes is in cahoots. They're not going to speak on it. because it's not going to help in or hurt the situation. Well, it's definitely not going to help the situation. So hopefully Gunna, and to be honest, Gunna's, even though Gunna's technically blackballed, his music's doing numbers. You know, you can't compare him to a Drake or anything like that, but considering for somebody to be blackballed, he's still doing numbers. So he doing something right. And I always said Gunna could rap, you know. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. The Slayer says when Young Thug come out, he gonna be old gangster. If convicted, right? I still have a shot in the back of my head that he may come home, you know. How long this trial is gonna take, if I had to guess, let me put it this way, who am I thinking of? Who is that? YFN? No, not YFN Lucci, because his trial ain't started. We're thinking of, what's the dude down up in Florida? YNW Melly. All these Ys, man. YNW Melly, right? If his case had took that long, mistrial, and got to go back, yeah. So this one's, and that one took, like, even though it took technically numbers-wise a month, but it felt like 2 months, man. You know what I'm saying? And then he's right back in the same situation. So that all depends on from that. Just checking to see if Dunks came in. Let me read the rest of this article real quick. It says, an Alfred plea, right? For the people don't, this is what Gunna took. So this is going to be more information to help us both understand, Ryan. He says, an Alfred plea in my case is the entry of a guilty plea to the one charge against me. That doesn't sound so good, does it? That means he's pleading guilty that he didn't do it and it's against the other person, which is in my best interest while at the time maintaining my innocence toward the same charge. Gunna said, at the time, I love and cherish an association with our YSL music and will always will. Young Thug has remained behind bars since his initial arrest. Ahead of the trial, a judge said that the lyrics could be used in the case. Yeah, that doesn't sound so good. The Alfred plea means that also, if Gunna's called on to testify, he has to testify. Now, who's to say Gunna won't get up there and tell the truth and or lie, but under oath, you're supposed to tell the truth. Do people follow that all the time? No. So we got a lot here to think about. So this is going to be a very, very strictly situation. So we're going to see how this goes. Let's see what else. I got one more little thing up on Young Thug that I want to like share with everybody real quick. And then we'll transition into the current situation with Diddy. And then we're going to be ready to close things out with Tip and his son as well. But hopefully, if things goes right, man, hopefully these guys, especially, you know, Thug, man, hopefully they can come home. Because, you know, if Thug beats the case, all the rest of them kind of have to kind of trickle on down. So they want Thug for whatever reason. They got a main thing in for Thug. Says, Young Thug's YSL RICO trial, what you need to know. Now, I think this one was also done recently as well. Let me just read through this. Yeah, this was posted November 27, 2023. It says, when the racketeering and gang conspiracy trial of Jeffrey Williams, which that's Young Thug's real name for the people who don't know, best known as the chart-topping rapper Young Thug, began on Monday in Atlanta. The star defendant had been in jail for 567 days. Sheesh. That's literally almost 2 years. Because think about it. It's 365 times 2 to make 2 years. So we ain't touched 600, but I mean, technically, we might as well. And for the people who keep asking, who does his hair, this, and the third, as big a profile case as this is, like, we'll have to know, like, I'm pretty sure they let him out early just for, like, I'm pretty sure they let them out or certain people to come through to do their hair. Now, is it free? No. Is it cheap? No. Probably have to pay a little extra, but I don't think there's another grown man behind bars doing this man's hair. Now, I don't know. Could be. Don't quote me. But I think in his situation, I think of like, if you ever watch Power, whenever Tasha had to go to court, it was always somebody that came through to get her hair right to be presented for court. Because I think you have a right to that or something like that. If they would have gave him bail, he could have had already did that on his own and have to do all that. But anyway, it says already estimated to last the better part of the year. The trial took nearly twice that long to even get going while the case legals and proceeds. So unforeseen courtroom dramas, plea deals, and various other delays, leading to a jury selection process that lasted nearly 10 months. So it took him 10 months to like damn near pick a jury that want to go, which he's got to be jurred by 12. Again, I want to throw this out there too for the people who's never been in any legal situations. One thing I want to say, right? Trial by jury is one of the most expensive trials you can have. That's why you see a lot, but you don't see a lot. Let me put it this way: you see a lot, but you don't see a lot. A lot of times you see regular stuff, but if you're being trial by jury, because I was almost facing a situation like that until my attorney let me know, like, hey, we can take it there, but he let me know off rip, hey, it's gonna be very expensive. He said, it's not that I don't believe you can win it, but I'm letting you know it's gonna be. This is the attorney I've already paid thousands of dollars to, right? I'm not gonna put the number out there, but just know that I paid thousands of dollars to already, and he's letting me know that it's gonna be very expensive. And I'm thinking like, dang, I didn't say this out loud, but I'm pretty sure he already knew I was thinking this. How much more do you want me to pay you, dude? Like, what do we got to do? And then you get to the point where like you do start to look at, hey man, this is what I start looking like. Go ahead, before you go flat broke, go ahead and do X, Y, Z. I've been there, but I ain't never snitched on nobody, because at the end of the day, one thing I can say about all my legal situations, even if there was other people involved, I was the only idiot that ended up it leading back too often, or I got caught in a situation. Now, they always ask me, some of the stuff they knew, like, there's no way in hell you did this alone. But I would just say, like, yeah, it was me. And they was just like, I admire your bravery and stuff. Sometimes I got a break, but like I said, they knew that, like, some stuff they could just tell. But like I said, it was just stupid, petty crimes, too. Like, I don't think some of that stuff could have led to, like, some crazy stuff. But, I'd always tapped out and call it a day, man. So, again, not snitching. Whenever you don't mention nobody else's name, you just go ahead and pleading guilty and snitching are two different things. Gunna situation, pled guilty and he threw other people's name in. I wouldn't have, those questions at the end, they wouldn't have surprised me with it, because I would have been like, I have no idea. All I know is, I'm pleading guilty for X, Y, Z. That's just my mindset on it. Let's see. Much about the case, which seeks the answer whether one of the most famous and influential rappers of his time was also spreading a violent crime enterprise, could be described as epic, including its scope with alleged crimes from 2015 to 2022, its effect on rap music in the city that remains one of the generous centers for innovation, and its entanglement with the potential legal fate of former President Donald Trump. Wow. This article really going in all the way. It says, in August, a grand jury convened by District Attorney Fannie T. Willis, which is the lady that nobody seems to like because she's the one who pretty much got them all locked up in Fulton. At the same time, if she's doing her job, she's doing her job. Also, she indicted Mr. Trump and others in a conspiracy to overturn the 2020 election in Georgia under the same criminal racketeering law, or RICO, used to charge Young Thug, a third racketeering case in Fulton County against dozens of local advocates and drawing national interest as well. So Atlanta them been kind of on it, but to be fair, that lady Fannie Willis, I remember when they did lock Thug up them one time, they did say in their defense, they said there was more coming. So I had no idea. Like, we thought it was like other rappers, which I think there are some other rappers out there having some issues in ATL, but I didn't know they meant like former presidents and stuff too, man. So this one really is all over the place. So Thug is kind of the one the first up to bat. But if he can beat it, imagine what all the rest of them going to do. So prosecution hasn't been looking the best either, if we're going to keep it real. Prosecutors say that Young Thug's YSL, or Young Slime Life, is a subset of the National Bloods led by Mr. Williams, who ordered and oversaw crimes including murder, attempted murder, armed robbery, and witness intimidation and drug dealing. Mr. Williams has pleaded not guilty and denied all the charges. He was initially charged alongside 27 associates, but after slew of guilty pleas and served cases, he is now standing trial with 5 individuals. So let me do the math here. There was 27 people eventually all tied into this. There's only 5 people 5 people taking a trial. What's 27 minus 5? We can do a quick little math real quick for the people, right? Okay, I'm going to do a quick little math just to like call this out real quick and see how many people went from. So it's 27 minus, now it's down to 5. So that means 22 people tapped out. 22. And I'm going to quote Boosie, right? I'm going to quote Boosie. He said it best. You can't put 27 eggs in a crate and not expect some of them to crack. Salutes to Thug. That also shows bravery. Whether he wins, lose, or draw on the case, which draw would mean a mistrial, I assume, or it's dismissed and they have to go again. I still say that takes bravery because a lot of people would have just tapped out and said, whatever, man. So salutes to Thug. I guess if any of those truths that lies into those lyrics, he wasn't playing about them. Says lawyers for the rapper and the other defendants say that YSL is simply a successful record label, Young Stoner Life, now an imprint under the Warner Music Group, and a collection of friends and collaborators who portray a gangster image in their music and videos because of tough life circumstances and because that is what sells. I mean, in that case, they could throw this easily you could put with Tupac because, you know, he just came with what came with it. You know what I mean? RIP to Tupac. And I'm not saying he's the only person, you know, that is or isn't into this type of situation, but I mean, you can't just always go off lyrics because some of the stuff is just could be some of the stuff they saw growing up around them. You know what I'm saying? Me and my mom stayed in one of the, I'm not going to say necessarily the toughest projects growing up, but at the same time, it was a lot of stuff that, like, I'm going to say it this way. My mom was eager to work hard to move us up out of that situation. And I loved it there. But it was a lot of stuff that grew on that I didn't probably need to be seeing or going around, you know, but I have met some of the coolest people there, you know. In fact, I just talked to some of them like recently. But yeah, salute to that. Says while some of those charges in the original indictment may have committed isolated crimes, lawyers for Mr. Williams say he is not responsible for the actions or the pulling the strings as prosecutors contend. Jeffrey is a kind, intelligent, hardworking, moral, and thoughtful person. His primary lawyer, Brian Steele, has said, arguing that the rapper has been unfairly targeted by law enforcement because of a fictional persona. So he's saying this Young Thug character is just a persona, right? Okay. Despite the unthankful, oppressive, embittered, and cruel conditions of his upbringing, he has been able to collectively his creative genius to lawful and ethical obtain phenomenal worldwide success. So, yeah, I mean, to be honest, that may be true, but did he do all this? It says, who exactly is Jeffrey Williams? We know that's Young Thug. Apparently, he's 32 years old, still too young. And again, I'm not going to read through this whole entire thing because we kind of already know who Young Thug is. So we're going to say, what exactly is Mr. Williams charged with? We know that's racketeering. Also, we know YFN Lucci ties into this situation somehow because I guess they were literally going back and forth. Ryan says, at the end of the day, it's free speech in a song. No one went after Big L for the heist song he did, rightfully so. Got you. Facts. It says, what exactly is Mr. Williams charged for? The case centers on January 2015, so it goes all the way back then. Donovan Thomas Jr., a.k.a. known as Nut or Big Nut. And that's where YM and Lucci comes into place. I've seen him making songs, dedicating songs to Nut. That's what the homie's nickname is for Donovan. He says, in a drive-by shooting, Mr. Thomas, according to law enforcement, was highly ranking member of another blood sunset known as the Inglewood family, or IF, as well as behind-the-scenes connector in Atlanta, Georgia's rap, affiliated with the artists Rich Homie Quan and Lucci. Okay, so interesting, because remember remember Rich Homie Quan and Thugger was Rich Gang, right? I missed that collaboration. Two great artists, and seems like Rich Homie wants to literally, he's tried several times to try to squash whatever's going on, but if it's this deep between Rich Homie Quan and YFN Lucci, but see, they were also signed to the same label, and maybe that's why Thug is no longer rocking with it. Because remember, YFN Lucci with is Think It's a Game. Rich Homie Quan was with Think It's a Game, which I don't think he's with Think It's a Game anymore. But I don't think Rich Homie had anything to do with all that. But still, you know, I get it. It's like you still sign next to the op, so to speak, you know. But sometimes you gotta, hey, Rich Homie Quan got mouths to feed. I get it, you know. I'm working. That's all he's trying to do. Maybe he has nothing affiliate to even do with this. Miss Willis, the district attorney, said that Mr. Thomas' killing led to a gang war that created violence like Atlanta has never seen, including more than 50 violent encounters as YSL and its allies trade attacks with IF, which is pretty much we're known as the other gang group that we were just talking about. So IF members and their affiliates in the crew known as YFN. So YFN Lucci, you know what I'm saying? That's what they're tied to, IF, you know what I mean? Which I want to double check what IF stands for real quick. I don't really want to like misinterpret it, but Inglewood Family, there we go. Which that one I should have known, but again, we haven't heard much talk of YFN Lucci except they tried to get him to testify against Thug and he said he wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know I was going to be diving this long in on this particular topic, everybody. My bad, but this does kind of intrigue me. It says, YFN Lucci, born Rayshawn Bennett, is also awaiting trial, forwarding a 2021 RICO indictment against YFN in the Fulton County. So, thing is, whether they realize it or not, even though they ops, everybody, if Thug don't win, what you think gonna happen to the 4 remaining people that gotta stand trial, including YFN Lucci? I think YFN Lucci, low-key, as much as he quote-unquote don't like Thug, I think everybody want to see Thug win, bro. It's one of those, like, who knows? This may bring that stuff, may squash a beef and make up for who is missing and this and the third. Whoever did it, I don't know. That's something we could think about. Says, while Mr. Williams is not charged with Mr. Thomas' murder, see, he's not even tried with it. Prosecutor says he helped arrange the killing because of intra-gang beefs and rap business disputes. He rented the silver Infiniti Q50 sedan that was used in the shooting, prosecutors say, and then gave those involved cash and directions to lay low. And they got that in quotations. I mean, yeah, anybody, I don't care what law you break, bro. Hell, you cross you run a stop sign or a red light, you gonna be like, hey, lay low. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, chill, lay low. That's just kind of how it goes. RICO was originally designed to decimate organized crime groups like the Mafia, and it allows prosecutors to argue that Mr. Williams and others committed overt acts in furtherance of YSL bordering crimes conspiracy. The law does not require the state to prove that Mr. Williams knew about or ordered all the Sawink crimes, only that he was the head of the enterprise that carried them out. So I don't like that about RICO because he doesn't know anything, doesn't know what goes on. But if he's the quote unquote boss over all these guys and they're all saying it, then that's gonna. But this is my thing. They gotta prove how they know he's a boss because he quote unquote brings in the most money. But at the same time, I don't feel like this makes me think the RICO case is unfair because it's like we got sold out, right? We got Music Monday. Say I'm the person that's over sold out, but you know me and Dunks is a team. And say like everybody, Jeremy said he's a person that sold out, and all the people like my moderators, right? The people I got moderating for me, salute to you guys, Many with the Kicks, Kwame. But say like you have, okay, cool. Say me and Dunks are the ringleader, right? We gonna scenario. This is what I'm getting from that RICO. So like, look, me and Dunks are the quote unquote bosses, but the moderators are doing so much dirt. But me and Dunks have no idea. You mean to tell me that if they can prove that any of this stuff, if I'm over it, then I automatically lose? You don't know what your employee's doing sometimes, because I'm going to say this, right? If I knew that my moderators or the people that I got working for me, not saying you guys are working for me, this is just an example, but if you know the people that's underneath you that's supposed to be holding you down, you don't know what they're doing, you know, it's just like if they go to steal a car, do I get blamed for that too? You know, that's just my thing. Like, you don't know. If I knew, I wouldn't have told them to did it, or I would have just fired them. You know, who's to say that's not the case? Kwame says, that's crazy, though. He don't have to tell someone to do it. It just benefits from it. Exactly. But my thing is this, I thought that's what the boss does. He told people what to do. But if they don't have proof that he didn't know or didn't tell them to do it, he's still guilty. That's some BS. That RICO stuff, that's some BS. I mean, that's obviously one of those, it's set up where they're not meant to win. But at the same time, this is not a federal RICO. This is a state RICO, so he has a chance. But who's to say if he beats the state RICO, they don't take it, the federal don't take it up? Because the federal could be like, look, you guys can do your job. We're going to come in, we're going to do a better one. Keep in mind, the feds have a 95% conviction rate. But this is not a Fed case, so we're going to keep it state, and I don't want to wish that on Thugger or anybody. Let's see. The original 56 count indictment, that means he had 56 charges, right? Included just 2 specific counts against Mr. Williams: conspiracy to violate the Racketeering Influence and Corrupt Organization Act and participation in the criminal street gang activity. But a re-indictment in August 2022, stemming from a search of Mr. Williams' home where he was arrested, added 9 additional counts, 6 of them against Mr. Williams. So they searched his home and pulled up. It's like no different, man. Y'all know I don't have times where people come in, knock on my door, and, you know, if I'm caught off guard, I mean, I'm probably telling a little too much right here. But y'all know I always, 9 times out of 10, I'm most likely, they're going to have to kick this mother effer down before I open it. 2, if I decide like, it looks like it's okay, know that I took care of whatever the hell I was doing that made me feel like I didn't feel like I should have this in front of nobody else. Not that it was that, it got locked down, right? But if somebody just come in, kick through your door with a warrant, there's nothing you can really do, bro. So I'm assuming they had a warrant, or the judge would have had to throw that out. So we're going to keep it moving. Says those additional gun and drug charges included possession of an illegal machine gun and possession of a firearm by a felon. Lawyers for Mr. Williams have said that many people stay at his home and the contraband did not belong to him. If convicted, all charges, the rapper could face up to 120. Ooh. I thought it was 40 something. So that's why they offered them 40-year. I think they ordered him a 40-year plea deal. Don't quote me on that. But that means if he's convicted on all charges, he could face up to 120 years in prison. If Thug beats this, or if he winds up with just 2 years, when he comes out, his stuff is going to skyrocket. 120 years, bro, that's a long time. You ain't never come, like, you're not gonna make it there. And just think, if the judge, he hasn't appeared to be the most nicest guy. Granted, but Thug hasn't been disrespectful or anything at all. So I don't know. It says, what about the other defendants? Those being tried alongside Mr. Williams includes Marquavius Havey, known as Qua, Demente Kendrick, known as rapper Yak Gotti, which I think he had already been to trial a couple times. He's been home, so this ain't nothing but a walk in the park for him. Not saying it's easy, but he's been here before. Cortavius Nicholas, guess he has no nickname, and Rodelius Ryan, who is already serving life in prison for a 2019 murder. This is my thing. The person at the end, Rodelius Ryan, who is already serving life in prison for a 2019 murder, and Shannon Steele, known as SB or Shannon Jackson, are charged with violating the RICO. This is my thing. If Rodelius Ryan is already serving life, do you think he care if y'all throw on another 120 years or how many years he's facing? I already got life. I don't know how young, like, Rodelius Ryan is. But let me put it this way. Think about this. You got life. Okay, man, you just got caught up on this. How? I've been locked up the whole entire time and I got life. Yeah, but they said you did this too, so you got to go to court for this. Are you going to plead guilty and add on to your time? Okay, I'm going to fight it out of the way. You ain't got no attorney. I don't care. What they going to do? Either way, I'm screwed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. Man, this kind of reading through this is kind of like, wow. Mr. Kendrick and Mr. Stowell are charged with executing the murder of Mr. Thomas in 2015, while Mr. Stillwell and Mr. Nicholas stand accused of another murder on Charmel drinks in 2022, among other counts. This is my thing. Why wait so long to charge these guys? Why didn't they just pick them up right when they did it? You know, I know one guy's already serving time, but still, like, that's another thing that kills me with the legal system. It says out of the 28 offenders, 13 had their cases separated from the group for various procedural and logistical reasons, while 9 pled guilty, including Mr. Williams' brother, Quatavius Gear, who raps under Unfunk, and Ghana-born Sergio Kitchens, a popular one-time collaborator with Mr. Williams. Despite the controversy over whether he's guilty plea amounted to snitching, Ghana has returned to commercial success while on probation, remaining largely mum on the case. So, I mean, we'll see if this Gunna situation, him pleading guilty, hurts or help Thug. And all 4 of the original 28 defendants were already serving life in prison. It says, wow. And all 4 of the original 20, so already 4 people was already serving life in prison. So not just that one guy, they were already serving life. That's my thing. Wow. So if you think about it, 25 are standing trial. 4 of those people were already serving life. 4 of those people were already serving life, right? And all 4 of the original 28 defendants are already serving life in prison. Others had already been convicted of crimes as an overt of the indictment, such as Lil Wayne tour bus shooting in 2015 on the accused YSL member named Jimmy Winfrey. Yeah, I remember that situation as well. In fact, that whole Lil Wayne bus shooting situation, I've heard several rappers, again, this whole live is alleged, but I've heard that this YSL thing should have been the whole live, if I'm gonna keep it 100, because I could talk forever. But I've heard from several rappers, they say that they know for a fact, I'm not gonna say which ones, but they said they know for a fact that the person that pled guilty to shot up Lil Wayne tour bus was not the person that they said did it. But why did he plead guilty? You know, maybe because he just knew that. But I think he had came home, though, after that. He pleaded guilty, did his time, because I think he did like 15 years, because it was like, I don't know. You know, it's one of those up in the air situations, and I guess you just had to be there. Granted, the people who said they know for a fact that he didn't do it, I don't think they were there. But that's just me, and who am I? It says, why has this case taken so long? Because Georgia RICO statute allows prosecutors to group together crimes that may seem unrelated. Exactly. That's always my case with any legal situation. In fact, when we transition onto this Diddy situation in the next few minutes, I always wonder why it takes people so long to come out and just like say something. You know what I mean? Like, dude, like say something or do something. Or why they didn't lock these guys up the minute they thought it was them. You know? Let me read through this real quick. Says the case consists of an inaccurate web of events spanning many years, alleged participants, victims, evidence, and up to 400 potential witnesses. So a lot going on in this case, man, and I'm probably going to have to revisit this a lot more. Why lyrics being used in trial? Because I can have guessed this one already. They're a little probably indirect, but enough where they obviously can make something stick, man. So I'm going to wrap things up on the Young Thug situation. Definitely spent way more time on that than what I thought. Let's get on Diddy's situation ever since the whole Cassie situation. I don't want to use what is alleged, but apparently 2 more women have come out. And I am going to touch on the article that I sent. 2 more women, and I think he's facing a second case and a third case. Keep in mind, the Cassie situation was civil to the best of my knowledge, allegedly and opinionated. And he went on and just kind of, you know, they made like an agreement to like basically settle out of court. So now, but 2 other women have come out. And since then, Diddy's Macy has begun removing Diddy's Sean John from stores and website. Now, from what I heard from it, it's got nothing to do with the situation. Apparently, just nobody really is buying Sean John no more. To be honest, I go to Macy's for Polo Ralph Lauren. I don't even check. I don't even glance for the Sean John stuff. But I mean, still, even if he was only bringing in, let's say, $10,000-$20,000 a year off Sean John, that's still $10,000-$20,000, bro. I'm pretty sure he would like to have it. I'm one of the people that like to give Diddy his flowers. Now, any of this stuff is true against him, then hey, do what you got to do. But I'm the type to give Diddy his flowers because the man came from nothing. You know, everybody like to argue like he screwed over his artist or he did X, Y, Z, this, that, and the third. While that may have some truth behind it, at the same time, Diddy is one of those people who brought on artists development. So he's probably paying himself extra ways out of that deal. Like he's probably getting them the deal, but he's probably making sure he get a percentage of XYZ because the marketing he's got to do. He's got to make sure you're presentable. He's doing the making sure he does artist development to make sure you're gonna pop. So he's one of those people where he's probably saying, I'm investing heavily in my investment, but I'm gonna reap the reward in the return, is what I look at it. Again, it's one of those read all what you sign, but at the same time, it's one of those where you know if you would have went with anybody else, could you say your career be on the same level? Now, granted, all those artists, me and my brother used to laugh back in the day about the Diddy situation. We used to be like, man, Diddy just want to make a couple million and then boom, you don't see him no more. But is it really Diddy that's trying to make a few million, or was it the artist that, you know, didn't want to continue grinding? Because we do have some artists that still rock with Diddy, that was signing Diddy, and I think still low-key still signing Diddy. Like, French Montana has yet to come out and say anything negatively to the best of my knowledge, you know? And at one point, he was under MMG, and he was under Bad Boy, you know? So not every artist say that. Young Jock say like Diddy, you know, he says positive things about him as well. So I mean, I guess it all just depends on how you structure the deal. Now I seen somebody try to crack a joke earlier about Diddy where all the people that Diddy signed are no longer here, which that is not true. But I know it was like a joke or whatever. We got Lady Rewind in the building, says because Diddy is Nino Brown from New Jack City, he runs Bad Boys and his crew like CMB Cash Money Brothers. Maybe, right? Now I've seen and again, allegedly, but I can see that Diddy doesn't necessarily have the best rep. And now we're gonna say like the former security guard for Diddy wants to share the truth. I did see this. I want to put this out there as well real quick, making sure I touch on everything before I head out on T.I. and Tiny Son. I'm gonna probably transition to that as the last like 10 minutes. I feel like that's fair, right? Because, I mean, I don't want to touch too deep onto the family stuff anyway. Says Diddy's ex-head of security speaks on Cassie claims after being named in a settled suit. And then, of course, the other two women's, which I think this is one I've seen recently, says Sean Diddy Combs faces second and third sexual assault lawsuit. Says Sean Diddy Combs has been sued by two more women over alleged acts of sexual assault a week after settling a R suit. You know, I don't want to say that word because YouTube don't want to say that. Brought against him and an ex-girl, Cassie. So, this is my thing. Again, these news cases, I think Dunks had pointed out there, this new stuff has been from like over 20 years ago. This is my thing. Ladies, while it is never too late to speak up, but I still would like to know why sometimes y'all wait so long. And I know the answer is like, yo, I've been traumatized. I was scared, this and the third. But I mean, still, you know, if people are still going to think about that. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I don't know. But that's still going to cross people's mind. It says Sean Diddy Combs is facing more accusations of sexual assault 1 week after settling a R suit brought against him and his ex-girlfriend Cassie. The rap mogul has been sued by two other women on separate alleged incidents of sexual misconduct throughout. His spokesperson Diddy 54, which I'm guessing that's how old he is, has denied wrongdoing in all three cases. Says they're among several civil suits recently filed against high-profile men in NY courts under the Adult Survivors Act and state law that allows such complaints to be filed with a 1-year window, regardless of whether the statute of limitation has run out. The deadline to submit such lawsuits under the law expiring November 24th. So they had to get these in at the last minute. Because if I'm not mistaken, we are past November 24th. Hence why all this stuff kind of started trickling down back to back. And I'm like, dang, I know Diddy is not in the best of mood right now. And, you know, think about it. They haven't put the disclosed amount of how much he's got to pay Cassie, but we know it's in the millions. It says November 23rd, Thanksgiving Day, a woman named Joe Dickerson Neal filed a lawsuit in New York court that alleges Diddy drugged and sexually assaulted her when she was a Syracuse University student in 1991. CCNN reported the filing states that the music executive took her to dinner at a restaurant and slipped a drug in her drink when she left to use the restroom. How does she know though? All right, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. If she did this while she went to the restroom, how does she know? Says yeah, use the restroom. Dickerson lawsuit also alleges that when they left in the car, she took a puff of a blunt under pressure from Diddy. So she basically saying she went to the bathroom, he slipped some in her drink. She didn't see him do it because she's in the bathroom, right? Again, I'm not here to say what's right or wrong, but this is gonna have to be brought up in court. I would hope. Although some of the stuff I thought that should have been brought up in court when I went to court wasn't brought up. But anyway, we're not talking about me, we're talking about Diddy. Anyway, so she went to the bathroom. He spiked her drink, according to her, allegedly. And then they got in the car and he was on the Denzel Washington training day joint. Hey, hit this or get out of my car and go back to your you know what type of job. Come on, man. That's what I'm reading, you know. I don't know. Says he later alleged brought her to a place he was staying to sexually assault her. Video recorded the act and showed the footage to many other people. Where is the footage though? Does she have the footage? I can say people record me all day long, but if we can't play to nobody, the judge's not gonna take me serious. But I'm not saying she doesn't have it, right? We don't know. The last minute lawsuit is an example of how a well-intentioned lawsuit can be turned onto its head. A spokesperson for Diddy told E! News, Miss Dickerson, 32 years old. Story is made up, not credible. Made up and not credible. Mr. Combs never assaulted her, and she implicates compliance that did not exist. This is purely a money grab and nothing more. But see, this is a thing too where Dunks are kind of brought up, I think, where we was talking about, well, if you settle with one, you think other one's not. This is my thing. They may not be asking for nearly as much money as Cassie, you know, and he's like, well, cool, just give him $1 million to sell. You know what I mean? These people could be a quick money grab, but Diddy may show him where he may have to take things all the way to trial, bro. Let's see. Also, November 23rd, a third woman, so this was all back to back, whose name was not made public, filed her own sexual assault lawsuit in New York case against Diddy. In her filing, she alleged that he and the R&B singer Aaron Hall assaulted her and her friend, the latter artist's apartment in 1990 or 1991, reported. This is my thing. You got to get the year right, boo. You got to get the year right. In my opinion, you need to get the year right. The woman also alleged in her lawsuit that the days later, Diddy visited the home where she was staying and assaulted her and choked her until she passed out. Why? The filing stated that he was alleged looking for plaintiff's friends because her feared she would tell her girl and he was at with the time. My thing is, something tells me Diddy wouldn't have cared because he would have just got another girl. You know, he's a young buck, young stallion. But again, I don't know. Let's see. Diddy spokesperson told E! News that the statement in response to claims involving the alleged misconduct against Mr. Combs from over 30 years ago. This was over 30 years ago. Says, why wait 30 years? I know, because she's traumatized, but I'm saying, like, bro, this is wild to me. Like, I think that's kind of crazy within itself. Says Diddy spokesperson told over 30 years ago, last minute, after all completely denied and rejected by him, he recognizes this as a money grab because of Mr. Combs' fame and success. He is easily targeted for accusers who will falsify the truth without concise or consequence for financial benefit. I can see why they would think that. He continued that New York legislator surely did not intend or expect the Adult Survivors Act to be exploited from improper purposes. The public should be skeptical and not rush to accept their unsustainable allegations. So pretty much NBC and other outlets reported Hall could not immediately be reached for comment. I'm sure after we seen what didn't age well on Vlad, studios or whatever, Vlad YouTube, I'm pretty sure he doesn't want that come out there anymore. So pretty much that's all I'm gonna touch on for Diddy for the night, man. We'll probably revisit some of this stuff, as you can see, and I do want to close things out for the last 10 minutes, like I said I was gonna do, for Tip and his son, aka TIP. Pause on the tip, literally. But I'm gonna read through this last little article that I seen. So Ti gets into a fight with his son King Harris over the silver spoon argument. So King has come out and said that he was raised by his grandmother in the slums, so to speak, and he wasn't at their house but only on the weekends. I don't know if any of this is true, but I mean, it sounds like somebody who really just wants attention. But how many kids does T.I. have? I want to say, what, 8? Roughly, I want to know 7, right? Either way, bro, you got a lot of brothers and sisters. I'm going to just keep it at that. Let me read through this article, then we're going to wrap things up because I've been on this joint for an hour and 20 minutes, and we're definitely going to close things out tonight at the hour and 30-minute mark. So appreciate everybody for coming through, showing love for sure. Let's see real quick. I'm going to clear some things out from my screen. Boom. So let me touch on this real quick. Says T.I. and his son King Harris got into a fight at the NFL game over the weekend, and it was captured on camera. The father-son duo attended the Atlanta Falcons and New Orleans Saints game at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta on Sunday, November 26th, alongside the rapper's wife, Tiny, and others. While watching the game in a luxury suite, TIP and his 19-year-old son began. Keep in mind, King is an adult. That means you're over 18. He is a legal adult. Arguing after King claimed that he had a tough upbringing, which T.I. and Tiny both took issue with. Because they're like, yo, you know, maybe he wasn't at the big crib with them all the time, but I mean, I'm assuming he financially was out. They don't make you a great dad, by the way, but I'm assuming while it may not make you a great dad, it definitely makes things, you know, at least you can enjoy something, you know, but it may not mean you're happy because money doesn't buy happiness. So I'm told. I don't know personally. Yeah. So let me see. King, have you ever woke up with a roach on your face? Then. So that's what he's saying. This is quoting from, I'm assuming, T.I., right? Divine Photo says, honestly, I heard King was mostly raised by his grandmother. He said that as well. And that may be true. Because while his mom and dad are celebrity artists. But I mean, I'm sure they're providing their grandmama, you know, the needs. Now, that don't make them great parents. But at the same time, I grew up in a household where both parents had to work. Both parents went to work. I don't hold no resentment towards them because they did check on me. They made sure I had what I had. But I know they were both working for a reason. Again, everybody's situation is different. Devon says, plus when they did the reality show, that's the one time they brought King. That's what he's saying. He was only there on the weekends. Now, if it's some truth for that, I don't know. Says, you don't know what you're talking about. T.I. snapped during the argument, which was filmed on Instagram Live. King responded, to make him look better, he said, ish that he know not true. Silver spoon, I ain't never ate with that a day in my life. I'm pretty sure you have, King. Even we've had silver in my house. We'll keep it moving, though. The teen later pointed out that he would often stay at his grandmother's house and get into fights as he preferred being outside in the neighborhood than a gated community. So he chose not wanting to stay in the gated community, or I don't know. Says T.I. clapped back by claiming that Kings cried like a baby in order to be sent to his grandmother's and would also hold his breath and throw tantrums. Okay, so he begged to go over there. So my thing is, hell, let him go over there. I mean, because I was like that with my grandparents a little bit too. Like, honestly, I spent, until like things kind of like, they got older and stuff like that, I was up there majority of the time. Sometimes, I know for a fact, like, I was getting picked up every single day. And I didn't even think about it until my parents got home. Divine Photo says, I still give Kings no right to talk to his parents like that, but from looking at the video, King obviously is crying for help. Most definitely he is crying for help, Divine. And I'm going to agree with you. When I had this same talk with somebody else earlier, because they were in it with their parents, I'm not going to put their business out there, but they were going in or whatever. I'm like, yo, at the end of the day, it's still your parent. I'm not going to say which one it was, but even I've had to have this talk before. I was in a situation where I wanted to stand up to my mom, and I just so happened to stupidly do it in front of my dad. He checked me real quick, and I never did it again. And it looks like T.I. has been checking them, but some kids take a minute to catch on. Granted, King's not a kid anymore. But at the same time, I have a family member where I know my parents say they don't done everything they could possibly do. It's like they just take turns with him. You know what I mean? Let's see. Devon says, T.I. will eventually have to let him go and let King learn the hard way. I'm pretty sure it's getting there. Even it's easier said than done too. Because I know I'll speak from my dad's point of view when it's going to one of my family members, right? It took a minute for I watched my parents do everything they could possibly do to prevent certain situations, but if the person just headed there, they headed there. Sometimes they got to learn the hard way. Now it sucks because sometimes that stuff still don't help. That's why I think it should be other. I'm gonna say this. I don't think King's a bad person or a bad individual, but I think there should be other programs to get them back. Like, I don't think being locked up, so to speak, is like gonna help the situation. Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. But he's not really doing that type of, or if he's doing that stuff out of just, for attention, they gotta find a way to give it to him where he can be happy. Again, King needs to realize not everybody's born in that type of situation either. Devon says, personally, I feel King has a lot of pent-up frustration, but you have to remember he's being raised by social media. This is true. Social media is raising these kids. This is true. And low-key, I don't know if y'all caught on, only one I really heavily rock with is kind of YouTube. I do my thing on there for the sneaker thing, but I kind of get out of there, man, because to be honest, if you're not careful, it will pause, but it will suck you in, real quickly. And to pursuing something you're not, man. And when I first got into social media way back in the day, I used to be that guy where, let me put it this way, I used to talk so much on social media back in the day, I would go to work the next day and they would be like, yo, you putting your soul, it was like a soap opera, you putting your soul, every little thing I read, was writing it there. And then once somebody told me that, I stopped from that day forward. I slowed down. I was like, yo, you talking too much. And that was just me. Everybody knows me and my family. Granted, I know I talk a lot on here. I'm really quiet in general. I'm usually a relaxed person and just like to vibe out. Let's see. Tiny grabbed the phone and claimed that reason King wanted to spend time with his grandmother is because she would let him suck a pacifier until he was 12 years old. Hey, I'm sorry. I wasn't ready for that one. The Mind Photo says, why do you think he went live? Because if T.I. would have did something that social media investigation would get on T.I.'s case. Yeah, and T.I., I don't know if he's still under probation or not, but he's been walking a tightrope since that last situation. So at the same time, he's getting on his son, who's also an adult. But he did say, I kept hearing T.I. saying, yo, you're embarrassing yourself. I'm not going to play any of the audio because I don't want to get flagged, but it says, the shouting match eventually turned physical with T.I. putting his son in a headlock and telling him, you are embarrassing yourself and your family. Boy, you can't do nothing with me. Ish you can do with me. Sounds like T.I. kind of blacked out there, bro. But at the same time, within good reason. But that's still obviously not going to stop him. Says, following the domestic dust up, King Harris took to his Instagram stories. Again, like you said, Devon, here you go with the social media stuff again. He says, nowadays a parent can't be a parent because as soon as you touch them, they already take their kid away from you. This is true. It's definitely harder. And it was harder back then, but now it's harder in other ways. It's always hard. There's no manual to how to raise a child. So that's always a difficult thing. Says, following the domestic dust up, King Harris took to Instagram stories to share a few messages which were later deleted. Says, I stand on business. Don't give a F who you are. I don't give a F who you are. MF can't play with me in my face. Not going for a day. I'm grown ASS man now, he wrote. Yeah, King, stay in. I don't know. This writing already. This is my thing. I'm with you, Devon. At the end of the day, and whoever else said it, this is still his dad and his mom. At the end of the day, you need to respect them. And if you don't, I'm gonna put it this way. I got another family member where they come to the key events as far as like when the family gets together, but there's some like they leave right after. They don't do the hanging out. They don't do this and the third. And I'm assuming it's because they don't do it because they know that for a fact that they, that's as respectful as they can be. King, if you're not ready to sit in that type of environment to go to the game to be able to present yourself, that's something that you go off on your parents about behind the scenes. And even still, you don't go off. But if you're gonna sit down and say, talk like the adult that you're claiming to be, you do that behind closed doors with your mom and dad and stress about how you feel and find ways to figure it out. Not say he hasn't done that, but I'm just saying that's how I would handle it and continue to handle it. I wouldn't go out on a public frenzy, especially not social media, to a whole bunch of people that most likely don't even know you nor care about you. They just know about your appearance with your dad. You're known for your dad. Your dad has worked hard to put y'all in a good position. Now, whether he was there the whole entire time, I don't know. It says, if I mistakenly say that, stop making the world think you F with me when you don't. N-word being fake. I'm an image for the internet, and that ain't me. Okay, so his dad, he's claiming he's an image for the internet. I'm going to read up this last little bit of article, and then we're going to wrap things up here for tonight. Let's see, Divine Photo says, it's like Michael Irvin had to call out his own son for rapping about a lifestyle he don't live, and his son grew up with a gated community. Yeah, I did remember seeing that. And, yeah, I mean, that's valid. And I think that's what it is. They want to live vicarious through their dad, but they did all the dirty work. I'm gonna word it like this: they did the running. They crawl so you can walk, or they walk so you can run. You know what I'm saying? So they did all the crawling, so now you can stand up and walk. You don't have to take that. There's other businesses and other things that your dad can put you on to. You know what I'm saying? You don't even have to rap that lifestyle. Be a producer and make some great beats. Like be a executive a record executive like your dad. Executive produce some stuff like Khaled. So obviously, there's a lot of money behind it. There's a lot of things on the table you can do. And I'm pretty sure with the right attitude, your father was willing to help you. Now, if you not good at it, he's gonna tell you, but he's gonna tell you to hopefully give you the keys of success to make it better, to improve it. Says King Harris previously spoke out about living with his grandmama in October. During an interview with Open Thoughts, King revealed that his parents' reality television show T.I. and Tiny, the family hustle, wasn't quite as it seemed. There's a lot about the show that got people confused, he said, because I live with my grandmother. Well, go to T.I. and Tiny's house on like a weekend. They'll say, hey, we're shooting today. We need all y'all at the house. They come get me at my grandma's house, and right after we done, when the cameras go off, I'm right back at my grandma's house. But according to Tiny, you were asking to go over there. So I don't know who necessarily to believe in this situation. I wasn't there. I mean, if you want to be around his grandma, let him be around his grandma. But at the same time, don't be saying like and maybe my thing is this: who's to say the grandma didn't live in a nice neighborhood as well? I would assume if that's either Tiny's mom or T.I.'s mom, the house he's over with, which I think, if I'm looking at the images. Also, I want to point out there, I did see that King has released a song dedicated to his grandmother. I don't think he's taking shots at his dad, but I think he did release a song dedicated to his grandmother, which was, respectful. Now, I didn't listen to it all the way because no disrespect to King. I don't know. Maybe the Young Bucks like him, but it is what it is. Still, that if it's a nice thing, long as he ain't taking shots at his dad too much, I can respect it. But sometimes you could be your kids can be just like you in a good way and you don't want them to be, in a bad way. I mean, they can be just like you in a bad way and you don't want them to be. So I do hope that they sit down and able to reconcile and figure this out as a family and take this stuff off the internet because it's not cool. And, yeah, man. That's pretty much what all I got for you tonight, man. We touched on Young Thug. That took up a great majority of our time. We touched on Diddy, and we closed out with King. Yeah, man. Very great one tonight. This is Music Monday. Appreciate everybody for coming through tonight, showing love. I've been on the joint for an hour and 34 minutes, man. Definitely we'll be back on Monday with another Music Monday. We're getting closer and closer to them DMP 11s. We got to make some shake So I'm definitely stacking my coins and chips and trying to do that. But other than that, I will be back. Dunk should be back with me on Wednesday with another Sold Out Live, another Sold Out podcast. But for now, this is Music Monday. Appreciate everybody for coming through, showing love. Y'all smash the like button. I see one more comment in there as I wrap things up for the night. It says, T.I. got me into hip hop. I owe him props. He sent like a good father. He seems like a good father. Anyway, priest, great stream. Appreciate that. Most definitely. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't a T.I. fan at first, and then I heard one of his songs, and then went back and listened to all of his other stuff, and then I instantly became a fan. I've been a fan for a long, long time, but at first I didn't want to accept him that I liked his music, but I did. But other than that, man, we will be back on Wednesday. Me and Dunk should be back with another Sold Out Live, another Sold Out podcast. Sign up for the Sold Out Discord. The link is pinned up at the top, and it is free to sign up. Other than that, I got more content on the way. As y'all know, I made content about sneakers, occasional try-on hauls. Y'all know my name is Jeremy Jones. And yeah, man, I think this pretty much wraps it up for tonight. So I'm officially out this thing, man. Peace.
December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crush all them out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crush all them out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Look where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash while I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry, oh why?